I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about how to spot a narcissist. Okay, Margaret, there is a lot of information about narcissism and narcissists out there. And obviously, I think we both agree that it's a term that's used a little bit too often.
Well, it's being used loosely now.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that has happened is that we have figured out as a field that many of the men who we considered to be batterers in domestic violence have turned out to be narcissists. And I think everybody's kind of blinded by that right now. And so I think we have to be careful with the term. There certainly are some real live narcissists out there.
Absolutely.
We've all known some.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, ultimately the narcissist has only one subject, which is what, Craig?
Them.
Yeah. But that's oversimplifying it. And narcissists, like anyone else, want relationships, but because they can't do emotions very well, they have to manipulate people to get them in a relationship. And nothing good comes of that. Okay?
So you got an article today with some good research?
Yes. This is 10 red flags to spot a narcissist. And this is written by a divorce lawyer. Okay? And I was saying to Craig earlier, I love when other disciplines see things the same way we do in coaching or mental health or whatever we call ourselves, because I think it means we're all on the right track. And so this is a divorce lawyer who wants to warn women about getting into narcissistic relationships.
Okay.
All right. So he starts with, wow, that handsome guy you just met a couple of weeks ago is really coming on strong. Is it love at first sight, or is it something else altogether? Sure, he's sexy, has a nice house, and brings you a mini orchid from Trader Joe's every time he sees you. But what is your gut telling you? Why is your gut telling you to exit stage left? Okay. Have you seen a red flag, or 8, that you've immediately dismissed because you are flattered by all of the attention you are getting from this overzealous new guy? Mm-hmm. Are you already making excuses for his behavior mere weeks into the relationship, or keeping potentially embarrassing information about how he treats you away from your friends? Okay? In other words, are you already confused very early on? Take it from a divorce attorney, coach, mediator who has been handling divorces, custody disputes, and breakups for 25 years.
Okay.
So he wants to share what he's seen, and he wants to protect people from getting into it.
All right. What does he got for us?
He says, do not ignore the red flags. If you do, you may very well find yourself years later gutted, personality changed, confidence rattled, hair falling out, unrecognizable to yourself and your friends, and a stack of self-help books on your bedstand with riveting titles like How to Speak to a Narcissist. So he's saying if you're a woman, you can't be too careful. You don't want this to happen to you. He doesn't want you to show up in his office. Okay?
Okay.
There's nothing like the surreal feeling of sitting in a divorce attorney's office to put an exclamation point on a relationship you had every sign would fail in the first place. And he's saying it's so easy to ignore the red flags. And I wonder if the biological clock is part of that. All right, even worse, you could find yourself entangled in a long-term child custody battle or divorce proceeding, while simultaneously trying to recover from years of emotional abuse. Nothing like the surreal feeling of sitting in a divorce attorney's office to put an exclamation point on a relationship you should have known would fail. Recognizing and, more importantly, acting on the red flags described below, the first few weeks of dating someone can save you time, misery, emotional abuse, and keep you open and available for the emotionally well-adjusted person who is out there for you. I like that he says that. In other words, don't settle for this. There's somebody out there.
Well,
one of the following red flags on its own may not mean much, but a combination of a couple or all of them means there is a problem. The dating process is a vetting process. I like that. It's a vetting process. You want to get to know this person. Be your own vigilant best friend and remain open to the red flags as they present themselves. Within 4 dates, you could very well have sufficient information in hand, which could save you years of misery. Okay?
Okay. So he's got 10 red flags.
Here are the 10 red flags.
Okay.
He seems off, has low affect, or kind of odd on the first date. Low affect means he doesn't change expression much. You don't get much emotion out of him.
Okay.
During the first date, you may very well be excited or very physically attracted to this new hottie. But even before the first date, you also may have noticed that he has low affect and somehow seems off or disconnected, or just plain weird. Maybe his cadence is off or his social skills are awkward. Maybe he is rude or dismissive of a friendly waiter, or judgy when you relay some personal things about yourself. All right, judgy, okay?
Well, judgy and the waiter thing, obviously stand out to me.
Right.
The low affect, that's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that with narcissists.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by the low affect?
They don't respond much. You know, they kind of have a poker face and may share facts with you, but you don't get a lot of emotion.
A lot of times they're so charming and
Some can be.
Right?
Some can be, but he's just saying he's known a number of them who are just kind of strange.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? He may very well be off his game or excited to meet you in his own right, but file this feeling in your mental dossier. If he exhibits none of the remaining qualities below, then this particular red flag may not mean anything.
Okay.
Okay? Number 2. So the first one is he seems off with low affect or odd on first date. Second, your gut is telling you nope. And he spells out nope. This is a big one, and a red flag all of us ignore when a new love interest is sexy and showering us with overwhelming amounts of attention. Who of us doesn't like that? Right out of the gate. But ask yourself, why is your gut telling you there's something wrong? When you describe the new person to your best friend or even yourself, why are you saying, he's very nice and attractive, but? Why the but? We are so willing to dismiss the gut instinct when we start to see a new dating partner. But your body is telling you something for a reason. Between your dependable gut and a stranger you've just met, you're going to choose the stranger? Okay?
That's a good point.
Yes, it is.
That is a really good point.
Yeah. Okay?
I like that point.
Yeah, I do too. If this was love at first sight, you would not have any reservations about it.
I disagree with that.
I do too. But if your gut is tempering your excitement, listen to it. So many of my clients wish they had.
I absolutely agree with, not ignoring your gut, but I don't agree at all with if this is love at first sight, would you not
because you should have just as many reservations as you do already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what he's describing, of course, is love bombing, where this person comes on all lovey, I love you, I've never felt this way before, blah, 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 blah. And if somebody's love bombing you, there's no good reason behind that. Okay? All right. 3, his texts feel like tests. Okay?
Okay.
Within the first few weeks of dating, it can feel great to receive a text from a new romantic interest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But do the texts feel like tests, setups, or traps? Is he peppering you with too many of them? Does he pout or punish you with silence when you don't get back to him within 15 minutes or even 5 minutes? Are you getting a bunch of urgent texts when he knows you're in a work meeting, only to refuse to answer the phone when you are finished with that meeting?
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
I knew a couple who used to do that to each other all the time.
It's like passive aggressive.
Absolutely. This is manipulation. Don't ignore it. Very good point. Okay. Where were you? What were you doing? Why didn't you answer me back in 5 minutes?
And then they're angry at you because you didn't.
Angry. Yeah. So it's a setup.
Yeah.
Just like.
And I've seen that kind of behavior with the borderline that I dated.
Yeah.
She would do that.
Yeah.
I was be in a session and trying to blow up my phone, it was like.
Right.
Yeah.
He tells you he's in love with you within 2 weeks of meeting you. Okay? And then he has a little footnote here. He may enter as a hero, but he will exit as a zero if he does this stuff.
Yeah.
Most of us have had a love at first sight scenario, but this is not that. There isn't any mutuality with this red flag. The rushed disclosure that he is in love with you, or that he thinks you are his soulmate, or that he has never met anyone like you, feels disingenuous, transactional, oddly timed, or just plain too fast. If it seems that way to you, it is. Okay? This revelation, in the midst of an avalanche of attention, right away, is a huge red flag.
Yep.
That this guy is not emotionally mature, has stunted emotional intelligence, is at the very least a jerk, and at the most has narcissistic personality disorder. Okay? And it's a narcissistic personality disorder you don't want any part of. Do not just count it just because he is easy on the eyes, looks good on paper, or because in some way you like that he's falling all over you. Well, who of us wouldn't, as you said?
Yep.
He may enter a hero, but he will exit a zero.
Yep.
All right? He reacts badly when you tell him to pump the brakes. As an extension of number 4, if you tell this new guy that you are flattered by his quick disclosure that he is in love with you, but nevertheless need him to slow down because you are concerned that he's moving too fast, his response can be extremely telling. If he cops to it, if he immediately admits that he has let his feelings get the best of him, and that he is simply excited to have met you and realizes he's getting ahead of himself, this would show some emotional self-awareness and maturity.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. If, however, he seems put out, angry, or frustrated that you aren't expressing the same quick attachment, or is defensive that you even pointed it out, this is a big red flag. These are the first 5 red flags that this attorney has shared with us. We will continue to the other 5 red flags. But are you already nervous about getting with a narcissist? That's a good thing. And we have said many times, and will continue to say, trust your gut. Okay? Our gut can make quicker decisions oftentimes than our brain.
Yeah. I liked quite a few of the points he made here. My big concern, though, was the love at first sight. That if it's love at first sight, you won't have any reservations.
Yeah, we don't know about that.
Yeah, I think that, you should take your time to get to know people. But he did make some good points, and
Excellent
I'm sure
points,
he's seen a lot of people's lives really ruined by somebody that is narcissistic.
Well, that's why he's discussing he doesn't want to see you in his office.
Yeah.
After years of this, and perhaps even a prolonged child custody battle.
Yeah.
And you being kind of ruined.
Yeah, we want you to have healthy relationships, and we don't want you to get in a toxic relationship where people are manipulating you or mistreating you or doing anything like that. And so if you find yourself in a situation like that, Margaret's going to kick your butt.
That's right, and tell you didn't complain enough, too. Yeah.
So please always consider the mental health of the person that you are dating and whether or not they're capable of giving you a healthy, loving relationship that's going to bring you happiness and not, leave you feeling devastated and destroyed inside.
And again, if you're dealing with that biological clock and the family that says, when are we going to see the grandchildren, it can be especially difficult. And it looks like this wonderful guy dropped out of the sky.
Okay. So we're going to do the other 5 in another video. We didn't want to overwhelm you too much. Let us know in the comments section if you like the topic and you like the video. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, you can get it at my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.